selecting records from the database. Till now what we have learned that we can insert into database. Now I will show you that how we will select those inserted values or the table or the rows that are in the database. First I will let you know the straightforward how we will be getting all the rows, and in the next step I will let you know how I will be getting a particular row or rows based on some particular condition. See, here are some of the points regarding select query. Select statement to fetch the data is used to fetch the data from the database. Fetching the data can be simple query or it can be complex query. Simple query simply means that we are going to use a simple select statement with one or two minor conditions, and complex simply means we can have joins of multiple tables. For example, we want to fetch data from database from multiple tables, so we can use join in that case. I will try to, if we get time, I will try to explain you the join, how we do join of two tables. Then there is again one more concept that is called subquery. Join and subquery both are used to get the data from the database if we have to fetch the data using multiple tables. But there is a bit syntax different and processing difference between subquery and join. Next is simple. Again, simple query is straightforward query and complex query is using multiple tables or complex conditions. So here is the syntax of a select query. Select field 1, field 2, field n. So here I will give the fields that I want to fetch. If I want to fetch all the fields, then I will simply give star rather than the field names. Then here I can give table name 1, table name 2. So why multiple tables are here? Because now we are getting data from multiple tables. This simply means it will be joining two tables and getting the records. Then we will be having where clause. Where means we can give the condition. It is in bracket, which simply means that this thing is optional. We can get the data without any condition as well. Then this is offset that will be passing, and this is the limit. Limit is how it will let us know that how many records we want to fetch. If we give limit 10, then only 10 records will be fetched from the database, even if the condition is returning 100 records. So it will limit it to the 10 records. So here are some of the explanations that I have already given. We can use one or more tables to fetch the data. To fetch from one or more table, use comma between table names as given here. So it will be called joining of two tables. To fetch one or more fields, the field name should be separated with commas. If we want to select all the fields, then we will simply give star rather than the comma separated field names. To specify any condition, we will use the where clause. Then offset is from where the select statement should start. Means if we don't give any offset, it will start fetching from the first record. So for the first record, offset is 0. But we can give the offset, like I give the offset 5. So now it will start fetching the records from record number 4. So I can give the offset from which record I want to get the data. And the limit is the number of records that I want to fetch. So this was all about the syntax of a select statement. So here I'm going to let you know how I'm going to fetch records from the database. So once I have inserted, on basis of this, what I can do, if record is inserted, I can run another query that I can write select query or select SQL select. I will give only 4 field names. from students, this much only. So here I will run my MySQL query. You can take it as return insert value, because now I'm using it here as well. So I will do it select value. So here I will be checking if not empty return select value. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fetch that I think. So first of all, let's print this query, then we will see how to fetch the records. Here is our form. So like here I take the name Ajit, class first, group A, contact number is something, and if I save user data, the record inserted successfully, and here it prints our select query. So here is the select query that I have written. Select our fields from students. I haven't given any condition right now, no limit, nothing. So it will simply give me all the rows from the students table. Now this is the way. First of all, I will let you know how this will work on command prompt. Select, copy this query, and I will execute it. So here you can see I'm getting all the rows from the database for this table. That includes student name, student class, class group, and contact number from students table. So here you can see we are having 6 records. So this is a flat select query that is getting all the rows for that particular table from the database. So this is the same thing that is visible here. I'm doing select star from student. So rather than doing this separate field, comma separate thing, we can simply, if we want to fetch all the rows, all the columns, we can do simply select star. So it will give me all the columns. But if I want selected columns, I will do like this. It will give me selected columns now. For example, if I remove contact number, I will get only 3 fields. If I give contact number, I will be getting this as well. Now I can put some condition on it. For example, I want to fetch all the records where group class underscore group is equal to A. So it will return me only those rows that are having class group A. So this way I can give the condition. Now this was for the class group. I can have multiple conditions using AND or OR. If I want to get all the conditions satisfied, I will give AND. For example, I want class group, I want students that are having class group, and that those records should not have blank contact number or null contact number. So I will do AND contact number is not null. So here you can see I will get only 2 records, because if I don't give this condition, I will be having 3 rows, and for first row the contact number is null. So I don't want a record with null contact number. So I will give this condition now, and when I will run, I will see only 2 records. The record with null value, null contact number is gone. So this is the way that we write conditions. Now if I want to limit the number of records that I want to fetch, if I make it limit 1, then I will get only 1 record, the topmost record. If I make it 2, I will get the 2 records. Now maximum we are getting, the number of records we are getting is 2, so it cannot exceed it. If we give 3, even that we will be getting the 2 records, because the condition is returning the 2 records. If I don't give this condition, so this will be giving me 3 records. If I make it limit 2, I will be getting top 2 records. So this is where the condition works. Now this was the command line, how we can select values, how we can use conditions, how we can use limits. Now in order to run this select query into PHP, how we will get the records, how we will get the data from the database, and how we can use it into our PHP code. So to select the data using PHP select, we can use MySQL query function. I have already shown you whatever query will write, either it's a select query or it's an insert query or it's a delete query or update query, we use MySQL underscore query function to run our SQL. Write the select query inside the MySQL query function. I have already shown you. This function is used to execute MySQL queries. Now, if we use the select query, we have executed the select query, we will be getting a result in this select value. But how we will be fetching that particular result set? So here are 2 functions in PHP. One is MySQL fetch array and MySQL fetch soak. So this array will simply fetch the array in numeric array. If you people remember, we have gone through arrays, so I will remind you people. For example, there is array A. I'm having 1, 2, 3. So this is a numeric array, number array, and if I'm having an array like this, for example, first 1, second is 2. So this is an associative array. So numeric array is having subscript 0, 1 and 2. Indexes means 1 will be at 0th index, 2 will be at first index, 3 will be at second index. But we can have index as string as well rather than numeric. So here is the index of first value, here is an index of second value. In this case, if I have to access 2, I will do $a 0. So it will return me 2. If I do here, if I have to access 2, I will do $b second. So it will give me the value 2. So this is the concept of numeric array and associative array, and we have discussed this already. I'm just reminding you people so that you people might be able to find the difference between MySQL fetch array and MySQL fetch ASOC. So array will return us, by default, array will return us the numeric array from the database, and so MySQL fetch array by default will return me numeric array of the rows from the database, and MySQL fetch ASOC will return me the associative array from the database. So how to use MySQL fetch array? Here you can see what I'm doing. I'm selecting my database and I'm doing my SQL, that is to select values from student. The same kind of query I have written here. If the record gets inserted, I want to run my select query to fetch the records from the database. So this will run my query. Now how to get the records? So on this screen you can see I'm using while $row equal to MySQL fetch array. So MySQL fetch array is basically to fetch the records, is a function to fetch the records from the database that are returned by the select statement. So here I will do while, so I will be taking a new variable $row and I will be saving my result in this $row from MySQL fetch array. I will be passing this return value that I'm getting here, and that I will let you know. The next argument I will let you know later. First only work with this value. So here what I'm going to do, I'll be going to print my row. So here you can see this is my select query. No need to print it now. Here I'm running my MySQL query. I'm passing my select query and the database link. So this is the resource. So this will be a resource type that I will be getting, because select query, what it is doing, it is fetching the results from the database and it is saving it as resource data type in this value. Now in order to get array from this resource data type, I will be using MySQL fetch array and passing this resource type value. So if I print my row inside it, so first let's go through the database and see how many rows are there in the database itself. Okay, because we have done a lot of time, we have submitted the page, so we are getting this record inserted into database multiple times, no issues. So right now you can see I'm having this much of records. So if I print my row, because I'm using while query, so what while query will do, it will get a single row from the database and assign it to $row. Then it will again fetch the next row and then it will assign to $row. So this will loop will go on until there is record or there are records in my table. So when I do like this, what I will be getting, so I will be getting like this array. It will be the first record, it will be the second record, then third record. So this way, I will get arrays for each record in the table. So this is separate, everything I will get in separate arrays. So here you can see I'm having Nusrat first repeated. Why it is so? By default, for each row I'm getting both numeric key as well as associative key. So if I don't pass any second argument to this function, MySQL fetch array, I will be getting my records from database as this. But I simply want only associative values. So what I will do, MySQL assoc I will do, and when I will pass second argument as MySQL assoc, you can see numeric keys are gone. Now there are only associative keys. So it is always easy to access using associative keys because it will let you know that these values are for which fields. Consider there is one more option, I can give it num. So doing like this, I will get only the numeric array. Now this doesn't make me clear that for which field this nusrat value I'm getting, for which field I'm getting first. So it is always better to use MySQL_assoc. That will let me know exactly the student name, student class, class group, contact number. These are exactly the names of the fields in our database. Student_name, student_class, class_group, and contact number. When we use MySQL fetch array using MySQL_assoc as second argument, I'm getting field names with their values in form of arrays. So these are the arrays that I'm getting from database. Now I can play with this array. I can simply print it. For example, here let's print the values now. Print $row here. In my case it would be student name then I'll give a break. Then I will concatenate these values. Student name, then I will give student class, then I will give class group, then I will give contact number. So here I will be giving $row, student name, student class, class group, and contact number. So here I am appending page break so that value are clearer. I'm giving one more page break here to differentiate between various rows. So we can take it as single. So we can append bold tag so that it is more clearly visible. This thing I'm just doing as an example, means you can do it as per your project requirement or application requirement, as per the user interface that you are asked to work on. So here you can see I'm getting all the rows printed. Student name Nusrat, student class first, class group A, and there is no contact number. Same for Samajit, then for Amit, then for Sumit, then for Chandra. So this way we are getting our records printed.